its first permanent constitution for the country, as the National Constitutional Review Commission has launched civic education and public consultations campaign to collect the views of citizens for the constitutions. Today we are going to discuss the significance of civic education and public consultation campaign for citizens and for also the Constitution's Review Commissions. Well, my name is Ngok Garang Daniel, your host today, and this is Sundown Beam, where we dissect the issues that matters to you. Sundown Beam is a program that comes your way every Tuesday and Thursday, but I, Ngok, will be hosting you every Thursday. On Sundown Beam, we dive into political affairs, economical and social affairs for every citizen to understand the affairs of the nation in all the aspects. And up to here, we will be going for a very short break. And after the break, I will be introducing the guests that I have for you today so that you can know the people that are going to discuss and inform you on the National Constitutional Review Commission's activities in the country. And up to here, we will go for a very short break. And we will be back shortly, viewers. Welcome back, viewers of SSBC. This is Sundown Beam, where we dissect the issues that matters to you. My name is Ngok Garang Daniel. Today we are going to discuss the significance of civic education and public consultation campaign that has been launched by the National Constitutional Review Commission in South Sudan. Today I'm very delighted to have the officials from the Commission so that they can tell us more about the civic education and public consultation campaign that has been launched in the country last month, so that you can know more about it. Here in the studio today, we are delighted to have John Natana Abraham, the Secretary General for the National Constitutional Review Commission. And we are also delighted to have Mrs. Honorable Mary Agul John Deng, who is also a member of the National Constitutional Review Commission. And remember, before I told you that this is Sundown Beam, where we dissect the issues that matters to you. And what matters to you today is the civic education and public consultation campaign that has been launched so that you and I contribute for the permanent constitution of the country. Honorable John and Honorable Mary, you're welcome to SSBC studio. This is a Sundown Beam.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So first is first, before we go deeply into the program so that the citizens, the audience, the viewers to know more about, I would love to know from each of you someone to introduce themselves in just a minute to tell us more about yourself and the activities of the institution. We will start with you, SG, and then followed by Mary. Thank you. You're welcome.
Thank you, the host, for this wonderful and rare opportunity. I am Maulana John Nathan Abraham, the Secretary General of the National Constitutional Review Commission, and also a senior legal counsel in the National Ministry of Justice.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And you?
Thank you, SSBC, for this opportunity. Mary Agol John Deng, member of National Constitutional Review Commission. Right now, I have been doing a lot of work as an advocate and an activist in terms of women rights, gender, all these issues. Yes.
I'm so delighted to host a lawyer and also an activist to tell us more, because it will be wide range of the activities and the other things. First of all, if you look at South Sudan, most of citizens, they don't know that there's something called National Constitutional Review Commission existing in the country. We would love to know from you, what does it mean, the activities? I will start with you, SJ.
Thank you very much once again, honestly, for this opportunity to clarify lots of matters about the constitutional making process for our people in the Republic of South Sudan. This is a historic moment for our people. When we talk about the constitutional making process, it's all about the struggles of our people. Our people struggled during the 17 Years' War, ending with the 1972 peace agreement, and that was followed by this 21 years of struggle, which ended with the Comprehensive Peace Agreement, 2005, and again a referendum, which actually ended with the secession of South Sudan. Our people were struggling all this time for actually a dignified life, because they want their cultural, political, economic, and social rights to be protected through a constitution, which is actually the supreme law of the land. And because historically, when we were in Sudan, the constitutions used to be imposed on our people. It was top to bottom kind of a process. But now is an opportunity, a historic and golden opportunity for the constitutional making process to be bottom to top. This means it starts from the people and ends with the people. It must be a people-driven process. So after our secession in 2011, the commission was established first in 2012 under the then leader, late Professor Akolle Manter.
Yes.
And now we did some work, but then due to the crisis that happened in the country, we could not achieve the goal. But after the revitalized peace agreement of 2018, it was agreed that actually the constitution making process, the constitution making, or the National Constitutional Review Commission should be reconstituted. And it was on November 3rd, 2023, it was reconstituted so that the new political parties, civil society groups, and other entities should all be incorporated so that they become part of the process in the spirit of inclusivity. So our basic mandate is covered here. The constitutional making process is covered under the Constitutional Making Process Act, and actually it involves about 6 entities. First, it is the National Constitutional Review Commission. The basic responsibility of that is actually to collect public views during civic education public consultations. Then the process moves to the Constitutional Drafting Committee, Lajna Siyagat al-Dastur. And that is where actually the views collected are now drafted into zero draft. And after that, the preparatory subcommittee, which is also another stage, makes necessary arrangements and brings representatives from the states and the 3 administrative areas to be able to participate in the National Constitutional Conference, Al-Mu'tamar al-Dastur al-Qawmi. After they have done their part and they have reviewed the initial draft, then the process goes to the Assembly. And at that time, the National Assembly transforms into, by the end of the transitional period, transforms into a Constituent Assembly for the purposes of deliberating upon and passing the Constitution. Then the Minister of Justice commits the Constitution, the new Constitution, to the Commission, National Constitutional Review Commission, for dissemination. So this is the work we are doing.
Okay, thank you so much. We will go to Honorable Mary Agol. I think you can add something on that.
Yes, thank you, SSBC. We, the members of the Commission and the NCRC, the National Constitutional Review Commission, their mandate, our mandate is to follow the constitution-making process, and we are in stage 5, where we are conducting now the civic education and public consultation, and we started already long time ago. Before 5 months, we launched in Freedom Hall. It was
March 27.
March 27, and that's the launching of the civic education and public consultation. Then we started in date 6th of October. This is where the team of the commissions, the members of the commission, went out to 4 states. I'm part of the Lagos State team. I'm the deputy team leader. And then we have another team went to Western Bahr al Ghazal. Another team went to Torit. and another team went to Northern Bahr al-Ghazal. And the team is a component of 4 members of the commission, honorables, and 3 secretariat. And one of our tasks, and the most important, that to educate and aware our people at the level of the grassroots into the counties and Buma. Like in Lake State, I went in date 6 and I came back on date 6 of October. I'm back on 7 of November. We visited 8 counties of Lake State. The same other colleagues also they did. Our task is to aware our citizens. We met the stakeholders, youth, women, government officials in the counties, those executive directors, administrators, and commissioners. And then we met the chiefs. And these people, they are really very warm and alive into their participation, and they are really engaged. And they wanted their views to be reflected in this document, the permanent constitution. And our South Sudanese people, we cannot say that, yes, some of them they are aware, some of them they are not aware, but on our going down there in board and talk to them, we realize that they are able to come out with their issues in terms of awareing them or informing them or let them to know the system of the government and what is the term limit and what does it mean, there is a direct democracy and indirect democracy. Like the direct democracy is to nominate and vote for your president from the citizen direct. The indirect one is to come from your constituency and vote for your constituency representative, and then the representative will.
Thank you so much. We will dive on that one. We will dive on the topic for the experiences that you had as a technical person in the field. There's something you mentioned, that civic education and public consultation campaign. This is the 5th stage. Can you tell the audience and the public what are the other previous stages that were undertaken until you reach the launching of the civic engagement?
Yes, at the beginning, as the SG he explained, he came with the historical background and the component of the commission itself, that the reconstitute of the commission from the revitalized peace agreement, and a forming of the commission from 57 members and coming from the stakeholders, and which is there in the agreement.
Yes.
And then we came to the launch of the civic education, and then we moved into, now this is the first step, that civic education and public consultation, going down to the 10 states and 3 administrative areas. There is another stage that when we are back, also the preparatory subcommittee, the CDC, where there is a committee for the draft of the informations. Yes. And what we are bringing from or taking from our people down there, their views, their opinion. Yes. To be reflected and been drafted in a special CDC. CDC, it has a certain criteria. And also from there we are going to Constitutional Conference, NCC, National Constitution Conference. And that one also, this is where the citizen is very powerful. This is where the citizen of South Sudan been represented from their different states. The people that we have been met in the counties there, they are the ones select their people and coming in to Juba and changing views and see the similarities of the opinions and like in term limit, are they agreed, the 10 states and the 3 administrative area in federalism system, in the powers, devolution of the powers, separation of the powers between the 3 wings of the government. These are the topics and the issues of the Constitution that we have been shared and aware and informed the citizen, and also been they come up with their own opinion on certain issues. Then like conflict on land issue should be regulated by the government. Who is responsible? Is it the community as we have it? So these are the issues and the topics, and this is what we discuss with our people. And why I say the citizen will be very powerful, and this is the mandate and responsibility of the people coming with the 1,200 in the National Constitution Conference. And the National Constitution Conference will determine and decide all these topics, which will reflect their views and opinion into the permanent constitution. And there is some other steps going there. There is a second round of consultation, the third round of confirmation of their views, and till we will reach the CA, and it had been mentioned by our SG, Maulana Honorable John Natana, when he talked in front before me. And this is where the CA, the Constituency Assembly, is the one will adopt the constitution, and they're down there with the people, and then the document will be distributed to the people.
Thank you so much.
People talked about it and adopted as a permanent constitution.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We have been discussing on civic education and public consultation campaign. And if you look at South Sudan, not everyone that knows the meaning of anything. It can look very simple for someone to say, yeah, this is civic education and public consultation. For someone who could not understand, what does it mean? What is civic education and public consultation campaign? For a simple person to understand, what does it mean first, so that we can dive more into the topic? I will start with you, Honorable.
Okay, thank you very much again. This is a very important part, because if you want to do something, it's very important to let the people understand what exactly is it that actually you are getting involved in, what kind of a process. Yes. So civic education on constitutional matters. We say civic education on constitutional matters because civic education can be on election issues and some health issues and any other epidemic or some other situation, insecurity and whatever. But this one is a civic education on constitutional matters. This means when you are talking about civic education, it is a situation whereby you are going to the public, educating them, yes, orienting them about the constitutional making process, the constitutional making process. How does the process look like? What are the different stages in the process? And then how can they participate in this process? How can their views be heard? How can they share their views? So once that is clearly understood, the rules of the game, how does the process look like, the process, and how can they participate? This part is what we refer to as civic education. Now on constitutional matters. And also you will be explaining to them the modalities, how you are going to conduct the civic education and all that, and yes, the kinds of materials available. But then after that, you move to the next stage, that is public consultations. Public consultations is that next stage whereby actually you give now opportunity to the people, to the members of the society, to give their views on different constitutional issues. Then your responsibility now is only to receive those views. It is not for you to dictate on them, but it is their opportunity. How do they want this doctrine of separation of powers to look like? Do they want a person to still be a member of parliament, again also a minister, and also somewhere else, maybe a general in the military, or once you are a minister, you cannot be a member of the assembly, or once you are in the assembly there, or once you are in the military uniform, you cannot join politics. All the things need to be made very clear. Issues of, like, let us say, independence of judiciary. They will also give their views because they have experiences in other countries. What are the elements, what are the things that make the judiciary really independent from interferences by whether the legislature or the executive? So how to strengthen that one. Then issues of affirmative action. What does affirmative action mean? Equity, gender equity, all those kinds of things, they will give their views. Even issues of gender marriage, gender issues. And like for the people of the church, you see now in some other Western countries, there is that issue about the definition of marriage. How would we like it to be in our constitution? In our constitutions and according to our cultures and traditions, it has always been that marriage is a relationship between man and woman, between the opposite sexes. But then in other constitutions in the Western world, sometimes you find that marriage is a relationship between two persons. Yes. Two persons, then it brings up issues of gays, lesbians, and all that, which cultural around here becomes a serious matter of concern. So those are things that you give opportunity to your people to explain so that you ultimately entrench them in the Constitution. Because being the supreme law of the land, then those rights can be protected and can be enforced in courts of law.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the positive response. I will come back to Honorable Mary. You mentioned before that you've been in the field, yes, assigned on things to do with the civic engagement. I would love to know from you, as a person who was technically in the field, the areas that you have visited and the other kind of activities that were presented to the citizens in those areas.
Yeah, thank you again. As I said, coming from Lake State, and first of all, we visited the capital of Lake State, Rumbek. Then we proceed direct to the governor office, and we met the official government ministers. Then we visited also to inform them and to know that, and they know that we are coming down to Lake State, to the counties. And Lake State, it has 8 counties. Then we visited the assembly, the legislature, or the state assembly. We talked with the members of the legislative assembly. Then we did some meeting with the youth in Rumbek town and with the chiefs, and the numbers is almost between 80 to 100 up to 150. With people with special need, women,
yes,
and all these stakeholders and the key important people in the community and in the society. Then we moved from Rumbek town to our area, like driving and traveling 5 hours, 6 hours,
yes,
and then to Ural East, Ural West, and all these areas or counties. We always visiting the radio stations which is located there, and evening time we have talk show with these presenters of these radio stations.
Let me cut you in the middle, Honorable. Let me cut you in the middle of your conversation. I would love to know the area that the commission itself has visited, the areas that the commission has visited, and how many teams that were assigned to those areas, plus the feedback of the citizens on the areas that the commission has visited.
We have visited 8 counties in Lake State: Wulu, Chuaibet, Ural East, Ural West, Awerian, the Rumbek town, yes, Rumbek North, and we talked with the people with these different various group in the community, and most of the issues that we have been discussed with them, women talked about their percentage. Some of them, they know that there is 25% and there is 35 in the agreement, but they are adding more, that they need 50-50. Others, they talked about 40. This is the women. They talked about the quota. They need always, to come more and more, because they feel like they are not more recognized by others institutions. This is what they say. Then youth also, they're talking about their percentage.
Yes.
Then people with special needs, they also need their percentage. chiefs, they talked about their powers being owned by the judiciary or by judges in the counties and in the state. The chiefs always talked about tradition, customary law, and like in case of these issues of marriages and compensation of murder. These are the issues that chiefs come with it. And as Honorable Jonathan said, the constitution making process talked about provisions. And the provisions in the constitution, not everything will be right and put in the constitution, but it will be mentioned in provisions,
yes.
And this is where it will be interpreted into act. And the act will talk about the trade act, the criminal one, the civil act, all these laws, you know, it fell under the constitution, but the constitution is the supremacy of how to govern the state and the people of the South Sudan.
Thank
so
you.
We discuss
so
all these issues with the citizen of Lagos State.
Thank you so much. I think I will come back to you, SG, as someone who also in charge of the commission. I would love to know from the commission, because if you look at the citizens in the country, most of the time they complain a lot, because they can say the government can come to us, they will take our voices, and later in the end they will never consider those voices. What assurance can you give to citizens that the commission has visited in the civic engagement, so that they can believe that their voices will be drafted and will be used in the permanent constitution that the commission is working for as its mandate?
Thank you very much. This is a very, very important question, because it has a great deal to do with the confidence and trust of the people in the system. And that is based on the past experiences. It started from Sudan, then till maybe some of the recent experiences here. The people are put in such a situation that they have distrusted everything. But from this forum, Sundown program, we want to assure our people that actually we members of the commission and those who are involved in this constitutional making process, in the first place, we are guided by the spirit of nationalism. We feel very strongly about the history of our people. As I said, when we talked of 17 years war, and when actually ended with the 1972 peace agreement, we lost a great deal of our people. Our people lost their lives there, fathers, mothers, and the youth. The same thing happened during 21 years. And our people were very determined. As a result, they overwhelmingly voted for a referendum. And this means it is a serious matter before the people and before God. Your conscience should tell you to do the right thing. So in our team, we have nothing to gain in this process other than protection of the rights of our people. We take it very, very, very seriously. And it is a matter of honesty. So the views of the people that are being collected on the ground, this will be the primary source of drafting the constitution. Then the second source will be experiences of other countries, like other constitutions of similar countries, let us say neighbors, Kenya, South Africa, Uganda, and all that will benefit, and even constitutions of other parts of the world, Canada, America, and all that, what we will think globally and act locally. Now we are talking about issues of federalism. It's not going to be cut and paste because it varies from one country to the other. We'll get the general, we have understood the general principles of federalism, but we will try to merge it and to make it that it has to be in accordance with the lives, experiences of our people here. So it's going to be the people. Now, to confirm that, when the zero draft, after collection of data, when the zero draft of the constitution comes out, there will be the second stage of public consultations. It will be shared with the people so that the people are able to see that actually, yes, these are the things that we have said, it is being reflected. Now, after also the constitution has been passed by or endorsed by the National Constitutional Conference, it will also be shared with the people. Constantly, the people will be involved. And even the National Constitutional Conference, as Honorable Maulana Agol has said, those will be representatives of our people from the 10 states and the 3 administrative areas, because they are the ones who own the process. They will come and determine it. The difference is that National Constitutional Conference members do not have the opportunity to go and get public views. It is National Constitutional Review Commission. Then again, now it goes to the Assembly there for final ratification. And in the Assembly, we don't expect that the gains of the people should be compromised. So it is a matter of trust and honesty. As head of the Secretariat, it is our responsibility to ensure that the data being collected now is not compromised in any manner.
Thank you so much. You mentioned something on the comparisons of ideas with the other different countries. I would love to know the international influence on the impact of the constitution process and on its content that is drafted to be presented.
This is a very important question. Actually,
I would love if you can do it in brief.
Yeah, in brief, we had been to South Africa and we also went to Kenya to share experiences in the constitutional making process. Now, we have sufficiently known that actually the partners are there to give options and sometimes resources to fund our process and to give options, technical options. But the decision must be for the people of South Sudan. It is us. The content depends on us. And we are intellectuals. Nobody can impose their views on us. And so far, nothing of that sort has happened, and it will never happen.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable. Thank you so much. And up to here, viewers, I think I have exhausted you so much with the conversation, and more are coming on the way. And up to here, we will go for a very short break. And after break, we will discuss the challenges faced by the National Constitutional Review Commission and the team that has been assigned for the civic engagement across the country. And up to here, we'll go for a short break, and we will be back shortly. Thank you. Where we dissect the issues that matters to you. And what matters to you today is the civic education and public consultation campaign that has been launched by the National Constitutional Review Commission so that they can collect your voices for the permanent constitution. This constitution will not be like the other constitution that was only formed by few individuals, but this constitution is going to take the view of every citizen across the country. As I told you before, that after the break we are going to discuss the challenges faced by the Commission and its team that were assigned to the state for the civic engagement. Before we talk about the challenges, let me tell you that we are still in the studio with the Secretary General for the National Constitutional Review Commission, who is none other than John Natana Abraham, and also the member of the National Constitutional Review Commission, who is none other than Honorable Mary Agul John Deng. Honorable SG and Honorable Mary, welcome back again from a very short break. This is Sundown Beam.
Thank you.
Yeah, first thing is first. As you have mentioned a lot, you mentioned a lot of things about the commissions. You have told the public about the civic education and public consultation campaign. I think the citizens and the viewers have already, they catch up and they can understand something. I would love to know from the commission the challenges that were faced by the commission.
Thank you very much again for this opportunity. See, there are challenges, just like any other institutions in the country. Yes. There are a number of challenges, particularly the central aspect of challenges is issue of funding. And the issue of funding, it has a lot to do with economic constraints in the country. Now, as you are seeing, even the world dynamics, the war in Ukraine and the Middle East and all over, all those, and even in Sudan, all those have got negative impact on the region. And we are not living in isolation. That has also affected us here. And we, like any other institution, we have our budget submitted, but unfortunately we have not got what we expect. But then, in our case, the government also helps in some other different ways. The place where we are based, those premises actually belong to the government. And so when it comes to element of rental, then at least it is good for us because we are not renting. We have renovated it through the courtesy of the partners. Yes. And also at the beginning of this year, a small amount was also provided to us in SSP. Though it was small, but it helped us to build 2 offices for the Constitutional Drafting Committee, one for the international experts and another one for the South Sudanese. And then also a hall for the Constitutional Drafting Committee. Then another civic education materials room, because civic education is a nationwide kind of process. We have lots of materials to be shared with the public. So now we build them in concrete. So this means in this kind of economic situation, the little amount, if you use it judiciously, you will still be able to move. So the government does something here, and also we got good rapport with the partners since 2012, and because of that good relationship with them, our strategy is this: we don't even want their cash. We identify our projects, then they fund these projects. Like now our members are going for civic education and public consultations. We don't want to see their money. We talk to enemies. They book our flights for our members to the capitals. UNDP provides some support for our members in one way or the other. UN Women does something. And these small kinds of support, when they're put together, it leads to something. Now in this particular process, our national government, particularly the high-level committee for implementation of the revitalized peace agreement, headed by General Kolmanyang, was very helpful to us, very instrumental, because he also wrote to the subnationals, to the governors, to help the members of the commission and the teams. So they were able to provide some little help here and there. And that help, plus the help from the partners, enabled our teams to achieve the goal. And based on this kind of things, through these challenges, you have to turn your challenges into opportunities and ensure that you don't allow yourself to be pessimistic. لازم تتفاعل مع الوضع. So don't be pessimistic. We remain optimistic because this is our country. This is where we are born. We are not going anywhere. So we have to do everything possible. Even if the salaries delay forever and ever, still we come to work, we do our best. And based on that, we will get the constitution for the people of South Sudan, hopefully before elections. That remains our dream.
Thank you so much, Honorable. You mentioned something concerning the finances for the commission to complete its mandate. I would love to know how much is it, how many money is required by the commission to complete the mandate?
Not the commission. You know, the commission is responsible for the budget of the entire constitutional making process. In the beginning, I mentioned to you all the 5 or 6 stages: NCRC, CDC, PSC, NCC, CA, and the Secretariat. This all process is a huge process. But we made our budget in such a manner that it is modest, it is reasonable, and it is realistic. So it is, initially it is 43 million USD. But then we said, given the economic circumstances, it should be given in stages, because every stage has its budget, NCRC, CDC, and all that. So it should be given in stages, or at least in bits. So this is our appeal to the government, that this is what should happen. Now, there is that question which arises, whether we can get the constitution ready before elections. That is not the question. The question should be, is funding available? If you provide the funding, we'll be able to do it. Now, through the little resources that we have been able to cover now. By the end of this year, we should have covered 80 states. 80 states. We'll be only left with Upper Nile, Unity, and the 3 administrative areas, plus the national institutions, which actually is a big breakthrough for the government of South Sudan and people of South Sudan, because we are part of the same system. This means once given little money in the beginning of the year, we intend to complete the other remaining areas. Then once the data is with us, then the zero draft will come out, and quickly we move to the National Constitutional Conference and then to the Assembly. Based on our expertise in this particular area, I think we know what is it that requires to be done in order to ensure that actually we move fast. The most important stage here is that actually this public consultation is extremely important, cannot be compromised, because it has a lot to do with the people. CDC work is technical, and they need to be given that reasonable time to do the drafting. And again, National Constitutional Conference, this is where the supreme leaders, representatives of the people are coming. They should be given also reasonable time to be able to determine the content of the constitution. Then when it goes to Assembly, Assembly has its own procedures for lawmaking: first reading, second reading, third reading, and the last reading from there. So those things are not that far. When people talk about whether you can finish, just give us the money, hold us accountable as a government, and we shall do it. Now see, another very important aspect here is that actually UNMISS flights go only to the capitals of the states, but not the 3 administrative areas. So 3 administrative areas will require commercial flights, and this will require government support. But we are closely working with them, and we are confident that they will do something.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your response. Before we come to Honorable Mary Agol, I would love to have a follow-up question with you. You mentioned something to do with election. Can the absence of the constitution, the permanent constitutions, compromise for the election to be conducted in 2026? Since you can see there's a limitation in time, we have a limited time for the election as it has been scheduled for 2026 December. And here there's a challenge of financing the constitution's review for a permanent constitution. Can the permanent constitution absence be compromised for election to be conducted?
Okay, let us divide these questions. Number one, I would like to make it clear to the public that actually, even with these little resources, we have made great gains. Now, those of Honorable Agol came back from the field. This means 4 states as we speak now. Before and on Monday, our 4 other teams are going to other states of Western Equatoria, Jongole, Warab, and Central Equatoria. We are very serious about that. This means we are moving at a very, very good speed with these little resources. So the question of delinking or little resources, for us, we have stopped complaining about it, but we are constantly appealing to the government to do something about it. But whether that actually we are not going to deliver, this is not realistic. Now, as lawyers too, when we are talking about those issues, we usually talk from legalistic perspective.
Yes.
Legally, we are operating within the parameters of this revitalized peace agreement 2018. And it is on basis of chapter 6 of this agreement, which is referred to as parameters of constitutional making process, that the Constitutional Making Process Act is developed.
Yes.
Another thing is that actually this revitalized peace agreement has been incorporated into our constitution. So it is the law. This means actually this, again, act is based on the constitution. And why I'm saying this first is that this is the basis. And this basis also tell us that actually the revitalized peace agreement tell us that actually elections must be held on basis of the new permanent constitution. That is what the law says. That is, so long as nothing changes here, this is what the law says.
So without the permanent constitution, there's no election to be held?
Because the election is supposed to be held on basis of the new constitution. But there's, like, people should not entertain the notion that actually there will be no new constitution. Because just funding given will be able to deliver. We will be able to deliver. And there are some entities or circles talking about delinking. It doesn't help. You know, when you're going for elections, you need to have clear framework, rules of the game. These elections, what are the rules of the games? Now, again, this revitalized peace agreement talk of having a constitution based on federalism. Now that is the trend going. If it is a federal constitution, a few questions arise. What are the powers given to the central authorities, to the states, to the sub-nationals? This has to be very clear so that everybody knows. Another thing, let us say one example is in a federal framework. Are we going to have a presidential system or a parliamentary system? Those things need to be clear. And once the rules of the game is clear and the legal framework, constitutional framework is clear, then because that determines the even issues of constituencies and other things like that, then you go for elections. Another very important aspect is that actually, based on what has been written by the signatories in the revitalized peace agreement, election is supposed to be the ultimate product of these processes, the processes of reforms, the process of nation building and transformation. And that's why the National Constitutional Making Committee reviewed a number of laws, and those laws now need to be embedded in the Constitution, and you move forward. So I think at this time, our focus as a nation should be on getting these little resources, fund these electoral institutions, and see their work. And I think even the recent RGMEC meeting, Honorable Minister Dr. Martin Ilia reported that actually NCRC has actually achieved 75% of its work. And he is correct. And that election commission, 64%. So if we have achieved 75%, support us just to complete the remaining 25%.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Honorable. I think we have exhausted our time a lot. I will come back to you, Honorable Mary, as a person who was technically working with the teams assigned for the civic engagement. Can you tell us the challenges that you face with your team and the other different teams that were assigned to different places across the country for the civic engagement?
Yes, there is challenges in Lake State. The only challenge is roads, access to the counties. This is the only challenge that I realize when I'm there in Lake State. Some other states, yes, like in Awil also, the security is good. In Lake State also, they provide us some people to guide us, and the state authority, it's with the team. So the only challenge is access to the roads, and I think that one the state will not solve it alone. It's the whole country should look into these issues, and even been raised by the people down there, that the access to roads, not only on constitution making process, even in some other circumstances that can help as a citizen to move from an area to area, from county to county, especially in this rainy season. Yes, there is challenge.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Right now, we'll go back to the SG, and I think you can also have a comment on that. If you look at the constitutions of the country, if you look at the constitution of the country, it requires the participation of every South Sudanese for it to be drafted and for it to become a permanent constitution. If you look here right now, we only deal with the civic education and public consultation campaign across the country, when we have other South Sudanese in the US, in diaspora, I mean, and other people within the African region and any other places. How will the Commission address that, since there's a tensions of the ideal participatory of everyone for the permanent constitution?
This is a very good question, because this question signifies our concern as a nation about our people. Our people are not outside there by choice, but most of them left the country because of the crisis, but their roots are here. This is their country, and many are coming back. And we want to make a conducive country that all of them should be coming back here. Now, for the purposes of our constitutional making process, as we said, we have covered now, we will be covering by the end of this year, 8 states. And we said 2 states will remain, plus the 3 administrative areas. Then the national institutions, which mean the organized forces, the military, the universities, and you name them, plus the diaspora. The diaspora, we have a committee also for the diaspora, committee for national institutions. Now, again, this issue of funding, once we get funding, our committee will go to diaspora as much as possible. But again, not only that, we have another mechanism. We have developed our website, which will be launched any of these coming days. And that website, we have 2 documents that have been developed. These are submission forms. Submission forms for individuals, submission forms for groups. Those submission forms will be uploaded in the website. And you know, website is worldwide. So yes, our people, wherever they are, and now these generations outside there are .com generations. Wherever they are, they will be able to put their views clearly and then just send it through those submissions. And those submissions will be considered in the Dastur.
Okay, thank you so much. We are also going to wind up. I think you can add something as we are going to conclude the program.
Yes, as Maulana John said, we need to reach out to diaspora, and this is a very important part of the citizen of South Sudan should come in with their views and opinion. And it is actually a responsibility of our government with the resources to facilitate to this commission and to the people of South Sudan to come out with that document, the permanent constitution. And even with my experience from Lagos State, the citizens well aware of the responsibility of the government should facilitate for this document to let them exit and to govern and to regulate everything which will facilitate, the laws and regulation of their life. So government is responsible about this, and they started already. Like the way I got a Lagos State authority, and I'm sure that this letter of Honorable, the one of the high committee, high committee, yes, General Kwalminyang, it facilitated for us, and they covered for the team down there in the counties, and the counties also the commissioners. They are they are in a very good cooperation with us.
Yes.
And this is the responsibility of the government. Government should come with the resources out, because one of the important stage is NCC. NCC, it needs to bring in 1,200, and even in the budget you can find this is the high channel in the budget there for the National Constitution Conference. We need to accommodate these people. We need to bring them in, transportation of these participants or representatives. So I think this is the responsibility of the government, and the government even start. This is why now we are in the ground, and we hope that the rest of the stages of the constitution making process will be cooperating with our government institutions, especially the finance part of the government, and we'll see what will happen. And this is the decision of the South Sudanese people to come out with a permanent constitution.
Thank you so much. As I told you before that you are running out of time due to the limited duration given for this program. I would love everyone to conclude with a short message, something like seconds, as we are winding up.
Just quickly, I would like to seize this opportunity to appeal to our government in Jongole, Warab, Western Equatoria, and Central Equatoria to support our teams the same way the first one teams were supported, and that determined really our success. And so our people also should be confident and remain optimistic that we are for them. Let them come out, give their views, and their views will never be compromised. We are working for our people, and appealing to the government at the national level to do everything possible to give us whatever little they can give, and it will enable us to succeed.
Thank you so much. And you only in seconds, in few seconds only.
Yeah, mine, it will be about what I got down the Lake State, the same spirit that I wanted also, as Maulana said, the cooperation of the state's authority or government. And then I want our South Sudanese people to keep up with that spirit, because they have a spirit of, this is our permanent document. We wanted to adopt it. We wanted to reflect our views. They are very serious. I wanted them to continue in some other states, keeping with the same spirit, with the same words, because we wanted to exit from so many things. We wanted to come with a permanent constitution, which will help us, and we will leave it for the coming generation. And this is where it will be more powerful and powerful. It's not for us, it's not for the coming, but for the coming and coming generations.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And dear viewers of SSBC, we have come to the end of our program. With me in the studio today, I'm really delighted to host the SG, the Secretary General for the National Constitutional Review Commission, who is none other than John Natana Abraham, and a member of the National Constitutional Review Commission, who is also none other than Honorable Mary Agul John Deng. Ladies and gentlemen, as we came to the end of our program, for someone who just tuned in, and I know that you have missed out the program, you can follow us on social media, SSBC, and you can also follow us on our YouTube channel, SSBC, for you to catch up on the program. And up to here, on behalf of SSBC team and Sundown Beam team in general, I would love to apologize for the limited time, because I know you would love to know more about the civic education and public consultation campaign. I think we are going to tune next time. Don't forget also to tune in next time every Thursday, so that you can catch up with more stories that will dissect the issues that matters to you. My name is Ngok Garang once again, and stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you so much.